from many Goyim report this. What's striking about Yiddishkeit, a lot striking about Yiddishkeit, but what hits a guy watches a Yid, how connected to day-to-day life Torah is. The Torah in Shus Akiva Balzim gave a shir to Shabbos about how to buy ice cream, and he's describing his biking trip, and he wants ice cream, and there's laws of kashrus, what he's looking for, and the Torah, the way service of Hashem, and the Torah guides and directs day-to-day life. Dahainu, we connect to Hashem through our life in living in this world. There are a lot of Eastern religions that the whole religion is move away from this world.
Ouch.
A Yid, the highest Yid is married, has a wife, has a family, has children, is very integrated into this world in very worldly places. And it's the striking part of Torah and mitzvahs that the world, even one who learns Torah and reads Torah, the Torah describes our greats, the Avos, the starters of our people, quite active in this world, to the point that Moshe Rabbeinu separating from his wife is a whole story of Lashon Hara. Miriam, Aaron HaKohen, they say Lashon Hara on Moshe Rabbeinu. What's the Lashon Hara? That's not how it works, a connection to Hashem.
Rav, that was beautiful.
And that's like a chiddush. Moshe, like to connect to Hashem, you separate from your wife. Service of Hashem is precisely very integrated into this world. Rachel, I'm in the middle of Musa. Could I call back? I don't think it's going to be possible. Thanks a million. Bye. That was a demonstration integrated into lifetime. So, we like planned. I told my wife at like 2:38, like call up. Like the kids are at Varnas. I asked Mechila, but the kitzur advarim is the service of Hashem, and anybody studies Sefer Bereshis, the greats are busy. Avram Avinu is very involved in the world. He's fighting a war. He's traveling with his wife. It's incredibly integrated into this world. The greats, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, the story of their lives is people living here. Parnasa, Yaakov Avinu working. It's the story of the Torah.
I love that.
Yaakov
I like Gambadu Divash. That's beautiful.
Yaakov Avinu, yeah, that Raya. Yaakov Avinu is busy working he's working for his father-in-law. The Torah is so the greats, Yaakov Avinu, Bechir HaAvos, whose face is on the Kisei HaKavod, he's working now. I'm not pretending. Yaakov Avinu's mind is completely Davak B'Hashem. But it's through this world, interacting with this world, highly engaged in this world. This is the striking part of Torah and mitzvahs, that the service of Hashem is specifically very, very involved in this world. It's not detached from this world. I've said over this story before here that there's a lady, a chashva lady, who was a searcher for Hashem. For 15 years, she lived nearby here, and she lived in a forest in Massachusetts. For 15 years, searching for God. She eventually finds Yiddishkeit. She was a Yid. She became frum. She was in her upper 30s. She started in Shomer Torah mitzvahs, and she got married to a frum Yid. Now this is a lady who was waking up early in the morning, extremely early, and praying a lot of the day. She was serving Hashem very hard, and it was very hard for her to have children. She said, children, I'm going to serve meals, clean up. I'm like detached from this world. She meant very earnest. She was intense on serving God, but very detached. All of a sudden to have children, I'm going to be playing around and running with them and cleaning diapers. She couldn't picture it. She went to speak to the Amshinav Rebbe, to talk to him that maybe I shouldn't have kids. Maybe for somebody like me, I shouldn't have kids. The Amshinav Rebbe, whose day is is wild. The Amshinova Rebbe, who's quite detached from this world. I mean, the Amshinova Rebbe, I don't think he sleeps more than a half hour to shot ever. I think he sleeps 2 hours a day. He's a Yid, eats very limited. He's a Pirish from this world. So she went to the Amshinova, he'd understand her want to detach from this world. She got an appointment with him at like 2 or 3 in the morning. She happens to be close to the Amshinova Rebbetzin, and she gets into the Amshinov like 2, 3 in the morning. Now, people have interactions with tzaddikim that are profound. He's a Yid who sees a lot. He sees things that most people don't see. Like the Chayz of Lublin is called the Seer. The Amshinov Rebbe, people I know who've interacted with him, he seems to be aware. Sayyid Hashem Li'Reyav. Say he's a close to Hashem, and it says Hashem shares secrets to those close to him. Sayyid Hashem Li'Reyav. He seems to see a lot. She comes into him. You know this story, Ari? She comes into him 2, 3 in the morning to meet with him, to talk. Maybe she shouldn't have kids, that she shouldn't be part of this world. Now, I'm not saying that me and you would relate to this. People have interactions with tzaddikim, and the tzaddik understands the person in front of them. This person comes into the tzaddik 2 or 3 in the morning, this Isha Chashuva, and she walks in to ask the Amshinov, maybe I shouldn't have kids, like maybe I should, and for big reasons, she walks into the Amshinov Rebbe, and he has a grandchild on his lap, and he's playing with the grandchild when she walks in. And somehow watching him interact with the grandchild, he says, no, you can ask questions. She said, I have no questions. She left and had 2 children. It was somehow, and again, you could ask, he didn't say anything, she saw something. She was watching the Amshinova Rebbe literally play. Something hit her about the magnitude of involvement in the person she sees as the Gadol Adar. And here he was like engaged in a way of kindness. Something hit her. I want to have children. That the path to Hashem is not detachment from this world. It's precisely in this world. Anybody who studies Torah, to me, it's what sticks out in the Torah. That service, so much of the mitzvahs involve loyalty to Hashem in business, honesty in business, dealing with sincerity, and so much of the Torah is specifically engaged. There was a Yid. His name was Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger was the 2nd or 3rd most powerful person in the United States in the 70s. He was the defense minister of the United States. Debatably, the vice president today is a little more powerful. Back in the day, it was mostly, the way I see it, I could be wrong, I'm not saying facts, it seemed like the vice president was much more ceremonious. Back in the day. Today it looks like they have more power, but I'm not positive, I'm not an expert on this. Be that whatever the case is, he was one of the most powerful people in the country. This Yid, Henry Kissinger, who was a cousin of my grandmother, he observed about from Yidden. He said the West have this world and ignore next world. The East have next world and ignore this world. And the From Yidden seem to have this world and the next. It's specifically quite engaged in this world. If that would be an observation, I'm not forcing this observation on anybody. It would seem a student of Torah would observe this. It would seem to be true. Now, we've had aesthetics. We've had people that totally were Pirish from this world. We've had even the people Pirish. Let's say, I'll give an example, and this is not somebody who's separated from this world. Rav Avigdor Miller, who learned Yom V'Layla, was not the biggest, but he enjoyed Hashem's world immensely. I'm coming from a father who learned more than almost anybody I've met in my life. My father, his default setting was to learn Torah. The hours he learned a day, that's what my father did. You woke up, he learned, he went to sleep, he was always learning. Yet he was somebody who enjoyed a good game of tennis a lot, enjoyed a nice barbecue a lot. He enjoyed this world significantly. Now, I'm not saying there aren't tzaddikim that are Pirish. There are. It's not common, and it doesn't look that that's the main direction of the Torah. if you learn Mesilas Yesharim, Precious, which is separation from the world, is only a way to get to Kedusha. Kedusha is the proper engagement in this world, engaging in a beautiful way. Rav Ezi Shlita showed me a Tanchuma, a Medrash Tanchuma, that says that Kavod Shabbos, preparing for Kavod Shabbos, is worth more than 1,000 Tanesim, which is exactly this. So your Kavod Shabbos is the engagement in this world. Einig Shabbos, eating on Shabbos. And that's more than 1,000 Taniyos. To me, what that expresses is engagement in the right way in this world is worth more than disengagement from the world. That's what I see in the words. So anybody studies Torah, studies mitzvah, studies Yiddishkeit. Now, I'm not saying there are people that could be shakua, that could be stuck in this world and not living in the right way. I look at, it's fun, I'll tell you something interesting. When people talk about learning by a Rebbe, when people talk about learning by a Rebbe, to me the biggest thing is that the Rebbe's life works and you like his life. Torah is not a subject. If I describe, they asked me to do a video for Rai Snicky, he's being honored by the yeshiva. To me, I watch Yol by Rai Snicky, any intelligent person, by him, what draws a guy nachis by Rai Snicky is I like his life. Now, if a guy told me he was not an excuse giver, a guy was he's actually coming back on the derech. He's a lawyer, a very special person who's coming back on the derech, was off the derech. He told me a very sharp thing, and he wasn't blaming. He said my choice, are my own choices, but he what? I want to use it to it's true. That's a good time, but I want to. Fair. Well, but I want to express that he said, this guy said that I never had a Rebbe that I liked his life, which is an incredible condemnation. He said I never. Now Torah is not a subject. It's kiyem chayenu. It's life. I want to express this. A bacher in the yeshiva. His father was a Baal Tshuva. His father went to public school. And he was in an out-of-town yeshiva, miserable, Avram. So he was complaining bitterly to his father, I'm miserable in school. So his father sat him down, and his father said, I don't understand you. We'll call him Yossi. His name is Yossi. But Yossi, I don't get you. He said, all of us, Mom hated school, I hated school. And he said, I'm not saying I love this. He used a very aggressive expression. He said, a person, you deal with it. Tough luck, and you go through it. Like, he said, what's your deal? You're fetching, you're complaining. We all hated, I hated school, your mom hated school, your grandma hated school, your granddad, everybody hated school. You like fetching? What's with you kids of today? What's the big fetch? We all hated school, and we survived, and that's it. So the kid said something so smart-paced to his father. He said, Dad, you went to PS 147, whatever you went to. He said, you hated school, you need to get the diploma and deal with it. That's what you need. He said, school, I'm learning Torah. School says to me who I'm going to marry. It says to me what type of lifestyle I'm going to live. You can't say, so deal with it. It has to resonate. I'm studying things. You can't tell a person who's literally studying who to marry, how to have children, how to live my life, and say, grinning. His father, was very Nisayra, was very awakened that, we need to find something. Very smart kid. You can't say, he's pointed out to his father, very nice, say, suck it up, that's the expression the boss said, and deal with it. That's very nice if you're getting a diploma. So there are a lot of things in life, you don't have to like it, you got to do it. I'm looking to figure out my life. You can't. So to me, the oimik, when I spoke about Rai Snicky, the oimik is, guys buy me I like his life. Oh, so what are you learning? What are you studying? I could say on my father, Talmidim of my father, there was a Rosh Yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael. I heard him, he didn't know I was in the crowd. He was talking about his relationship to my dad, and he was describing this, that his life moved me. It was a life. No, it was a big crowd. Well, yeah. But I'm saying he wasn't saying it like... What did you say?
Ooh, that's me. No? You want to put your hand up in the screen?
Oh no! My point wasn't. My point was he wasn't saying it to make me feel good. This is what he experienced. That he
Rough crowd today, Rob.
Great crowd. This is what he experienced. That Lely, when people describe what they get from Rabbi Snicky, this is what maybe the biggest thing is like. Wow, that's a life I would sign on to. That's wow. And that's Torah is not a subject; it's a way of life. What I'm getting at, Chevra, is I'm setting up a kasha. Chevra, this whole thing, we're having a party.
Everything has to be.
And all of this is to set up a kasha. Everything we just said is a truth. I think it's a truth. I'm not like I don't have an agenda today. I actually want to ask a question. I don't want to offer an answer. I want answers from the guys. What I want to ask the Chevra is today is Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Today we arrive in the Midbar Sinai to receive the Torah. And my question to every guy here that bothers me a lot is why in the world did God give us the Torah in the desert? It's the opposite of everything I'm saying. It's the opposite, Zevi, and I don't want a quick answer. I don't want a quick answer. I really am bothered by this. Everything... Yoel, don't say an answer yet. I want you to hear something. Yoel, I want you to hear this, Yoel. Yoel, everything I see in Torah is what I just described. And I'm willing to be wrong. Somebody would say, Kalish, you don't understand Torah, a life of Torah. I'm willing to be wrong. I gave over what I see in a life. My Rebbeim had spouses. My Rebbeim were engaged in this world. They lived in nice houses. Everything I'm describing is engaged in this world. Hashem says, come, I want to give you the Torah. Come to the desert. I am very bothered. It seems, if Yiddishkeit was like, go to the Himalayas, go like the nuns, if Yiddishkeit looked like that, I would say, come to the desert. I want to introduce a new lifestyle to you.
Wow.
Avram, I am bothered deeply. I'm really bothered. God really gives us the Torah, and He tells us today, we're headed to Kabbalah Satorah. Just come to the desert.
Come to the desert?
I think that's wild.
You want to come to the
That's wild. It's shocking to me. Give it to us and remember, we don't live in the desert. We're going to Eretz Yisrael. And it's very exact. And again, I really want answers from the guys, but I want to feel the question. To me, and you might not be bothered, you don't have to be bothered by something. I want to express that it's shocking to me. Literally, if it was like they were saying, that Torah that they live, that lifestyle, people, monks and the like, who are detached, who their thoughts are religions not to get married, I would hear, come to the desert. There's something I want to show you. But to people that the very Torah calls to a person to engage in the world, to me, it seems bizarre. I'm willing to hear answers. But to tell a guy, come to the Himalayas, come to where nobody is, and come, I want to hand you something in the desert. To me, that's bizarre. I would suspect, if I was a guess, it brings out the question, it's factual, we received the Torah in the desert. To me, it seems very bizarre to receive in the desert. It seems to be very distant from what Torah really says.
This question?
And that's what I'm... Before an answer, I want to feel the question. I want the question to live in this room. That for everything the Torah calls to a person, the last place, if I was a guessing man, it would make the most sense to hand people Torah in the middle of civilization, to where the Torah talks, to the life the Torah is asking and demanding and bringing out. It would seem so odd to tell a person, come to the Himalayas, come to the desert where nobody lives, where nothing grows, which is devoid of civilization. That seems to me very odd. For what the Torah is, for what the Torah is asking of a person, for what the Torah is offering a person, I think there's like something that's incongruent, that seems off. That's my question. I don't think it's a very forced question. I think it's like, for anybody who studies Torah, it seems it needs like a real pshat. It brings, and by the way, so I just have to agree with this. You could stop and ask a fair question. Why is the Torah given in the desert? I only think it like magnifies the question. It's not what the Torah is saying to a person.
It seems paradoxical, right?
Yeah, that's to me. Now again, before any answers, is it rather striking to what I'm saying? And you see people who are like going out. I love that our Rebbeim are precisely, and we learn by Rebbeim that are engaged in this world, that are very much. We don't go to people that aren't involved in this world, that our Rebbeim are literally engaged. That's what I'm asking the Chevra.
Someone who's not engaged in this world, are they like a more detached tzaddik? Are they somewhat wrong, Rebbe?
I don't want to say wrong. I want to say that it doesn't look like that's the lechatchila. Anybody studying Torah, the Avos were engaged in this world. Yishuv Olam. The Avos worked. The Avos were rich. Now, I'm not saying they were in money for reasons, for spiritual. They were completely attached to Hashem. But anybody studies Torah is the attachment to Hashem through this world. By the way, in the Beis Hamikdash was full of gold.
Gold?
It was like a very beautiful, aesthetically pleasing place.
Beautiful.
And all of a sudden, when we received the Torah, contrary to all the other things of holy, I wouldn't suspect, come to the desert, come, I want to give you this gift.
The desert?
It's like weird, yeah. Come to your house, I want to hand you a gift. I want to come to you where you live, as you live.
Yeah.
Nachi fair? Something like very weird to do this. Yoel, does the question strike?
Yeah, the question strikes
Good.
me.
I promise you I want answers. Literally. I want to hear from the guys. And you could ask the question, stop, it's interesting, you have to turn the midbar. To me, it's not just like, there's kashas and shilas, Nachi. Somebody could have asked this as a shilah. Yeah.
What Rabbi is asking is like, why did they give us a house and why had some the desert? Not, and then I'm sure you can find me an answer of why they come to the desert, but then why once you come to the desert to the Har Sinai have all the flowers and all the grass and everything like that. If you're going to a place that's not meant to be comfortable,
that's interesting. That's interesting.
Why is he making it all?
That's interesting. That's true. That's true. But it's so funny. And by the way, this Hashem's talking to me and you. And today he says, "Come to the desert." It's a strange place for everything that I understand Torah says and is. So now, Reuben Yaina could have just been a shaila. It's actually a good shaila. Why are we giving a desert? What's that? It's like you have a shot. I'm asking it more in attack. For sure. That's what everything about Torah. When you study Torah, it speaks about planting, harvesting. It's like a sugya complete. This is one sefer b'dafka for civilization. It speaks about the first mitzvahs to get married, engage in this world, yeshiva olam. And for the sefer of Yishuv, come out of this world. I want to give you some. The midbar is the least. Explain the more special.
If you give someone something and they already have like a taste of that of the great life, then it's not as special as if someone has nothing. You give them a beautiful house, or you give them.
It's interesting, reflecting that without Torah there's like nothingness. Interesting. The reflection of without this, like you have garnish.
Thank you.
Not
Feel
even
that.
Nothing. It's not putting down having nothing without it. It's just putting it still without it.
I hear. I literally, Chaim, I want the guys to say their own pshatim. I don't want to say the pshat is. I don't want to. Because I think this is like, to me, there's not a minor thing of Kabbalah Satar. This is the introduction. Literally, this is what happened. This is what happens. We go to Midbar Sinai. This is today, Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Klal Yisrael goes to the desert. We go to the desert. So, I'm asking very, very fiercely the question that Chazal asked. I'm asking that everything about Torah seems to be a person engaged in this world. My father is from the... in my existence, the one I experienced who learned Torah the most was my dad. I saw him, I breathed, he learned. He was so engaged in this world. Liked a nice piece of schnitzel, a good tennis game. He enjoyed and used the world for great devekas b'Hashem. So when I see that, Yair, I'm so mystified. Come get the Torah. There are nuns in Lahavdil, people living in the Himalayas, they're disengaged from life. We don't look at that as the life of Torah. We look at Kedusha, utilizing things right and beautiful. We see our Rebbeim, Rabbi Silverman, Rabbi Russ. We see our Rebbeim as people, right, with Snicky, who are very engaged in this world. So it makes me wonder, to receive the Torah, come to the desert. Give it where we live, because that's what it speaks to, a life of living, a life engaged. That's the energy of what I'm asking. There's not a cute word. Like, this is real stuff, this is what happens. This is like, and Hashem, to say, every little child knows we received the Torah in the Midbar Sinai. Har Sinai, Midbar Sinai. This is like the basic Yadus. This is like the basic of Yiddishkeit. I think there has to bring the thought. That has to be ma'ir, but it's not just a shaila; it's a kasha. Yes, Mechi.
I think possibly it could be like Hashem's way. Like, wouldn't Rebbe think that the midbar is like more of a human like thing than having it like in where you wanted to have it?
Explain.
Like, I think that, like, as Rebbe said, like compared to the other nations, like. You don't want it to be like, okay, I don't want this religion, I'll just easily go for a different one. So what do you think that it's like showing that they're more human, I feel like, by doing it in the desert.
What about, I'm with you, I want to be, what do you mean human? Why is the desert human?
I think that works, but like also just because like
gotta get the Torah before you can build a home.
Where else would it be? Where do you want it to be?
In the city, in the issue, nobody lives in the desert. Where everybody lives, where everybody is, where everybody functions. The desert by its nature, people don't have settlements in the desert typically, because there's no water, it's not the most functional place. It's just funny. The desert represents not minayishuv, not where people live. I don't think so. People live where there's water. In the desert, there's something called an oasis. Like there's water. There, people live. It's like a chiddush. Kiryat Sefer, Modi'im, Moshav Matisyahu is like a chiddush. In the desert, they put down something that's a chiddush.
Go to Israel, go to Eretz Yisrael without the Torah. So we're going to go settle down with.
Give it. It seems so odd that you give it out of the Yishuv. And for everything I know about Torah, it seems so strange.
Maybe it's like prepare them to like know how to use like the actual real world with the
interesting. CD and really Mechi's saying, the CD saying very intelligent. CD said that this is the way how you engage. So from a space of not having, let me give this to you, and then like engage with this. Maybe. It's like, seems so like, I'm happy that even your teretz acknowledges a weird place to give it. The teretz is, take this before you engage. Like, that's what guys are saying, before we get teretz, so you're not in the Yishuv yet. You'll need this for the Yishuv, so... Yoel said this. I like that, Yoel, a lot. I like that a lot, Yoel. Yoel and Sidi are saying that before we engage, because this is going to be a sefer about engagement, so let me give it to you before you're not engaged. Almost to teach, like a little bit like, to teach that this is the sefer of engagement.
Why it doesn't.
Could it be there's such a thing as you do have to start, like Abram spent years by himself before he went.
Whoa.
You have to have before you go.
Rear, coming from the rear.
We go to our
Precious before Kedusha, there is something called precious.
We're not living a life. It's like one of the later steps.
Right.
But we're all here in yeshiva. We're not living in the city.
When Yonah is describing that, it does say, there's a Gemara, it says, whoever learns Torah me'aniyos, Sefer will learn me'toich hashiras. When Yonah is like expressing, first do it without, and then like you build your life. But it's just strange to me because the Torah speaks about engagement. That's what it's about. So, yeah, there is such a thing of precious. The Torah speaks about engagement in the world. Ari, fair question. What hits you, Ari? It's funny. I want guys less to say a teretz than what hits you. I like asking. It's funny, the art, Chevra. I've gone to many Q&As, and I started doing, instead of thinking of answers, I don't like doing that. I have a new shtick. I really say what I'm thinking. Yeah. I don't want to think of an answer. It's a very good idea not to say, "Ooh, I better say something." Like, what hits you? Questions like bring things out. What hits about this? That you received the Torah in the desert. You received in the desert. What hits you? What is that? What is this? What is being suggested here? Now I do want to say Chazal asked the question, and Chazal will bother. Why was the Torah given in the desert?
No, but
So
Chazal
the question, yeah, maybe,
No?
maybe it was a kasha. Maybe I don't know. Maybe. What's and I don't say there's the answer. I don't say what's one element of the desert. Chazal do say that nobody owns it. Hakol Dashin, everybody has rishus there. It's like the ultimate place. It's nobody settles the desert. The desert's the wild place that anybody could just come to. Anybody could stake a claim. It's Hakol. I'm asking like a kasha to the chevra, not just, hey, why do we get it in the desert? Everything about Torah is that I spoke about what you said, Shabbos, those are Kiddush Shemayim.
Absolutely.
You're biking and you want ice cream and you want to figure out how to do Al-Piyat Torah. Everything about the Torah speaks about a person engaged in this world. That's what's unique. If our greats are completely engaged in Parnasa and Yishuv Olam and having Mishpachas, everything in the Torah speaks to that. So why does Hashem say, come to the desert? I want to give it in the Yishuv. Seems so hard to understand, so unlikely. Lahavdil, if nuns were right in their view of holiness, so then a world like that would make sense, come to the desert. That's not the world of Yiddishkeit, of Yadus, of our greats that are incredibly engaged in this world. So what's this come to the desert? I have something for you. Yair, you like the question, Yair? I like the question a lot.
It reminds me of the same question with the Shabbat
Similar vibe. Yeah.
I think the most beautiful things go down like out in the open. Like even think about like us as a yeshiva. Like we're not in Lakewood, we're not in Muncie. Like we're in friggin' Durham, Connecticut. You know, like we're out there. Even like the road trips. Like the sickest trips that we do are going down in Colorado and Utah. Like we're not near anything. You know?
It reaches everywhere. It's interesting. Daniel said that the reach of the Torah, like this, it's funny that there are people who study Torah in Eretz Yisrael say under these conditions I could learn Torah and live Torah. The story of Torah is wherever you go, the service of Hashem, that it's not limited to a specific place. So Daniel says something that does resonate. Like they're in the desert and the Torah is given there. That Torah doesn't need a certain place, a certain conditions. Under all, the Torah speaks to all places. If it was given in Eretz Yisrael, you say, under these conditions we serve Hashem. Under these conditions I can engage. Specifically, the least inhabitable place on earth. There we got the Torah. And Daniel sees this, that the Torah reaches everywhere. Could be. I'm not like. I don't have a monopoly on this. I think it's an important question today that we come to Midmar Sinai because what? It's to me the first story. It's like the first story of Kabbalah Satira. The start. Come to the desert. Come to the Midbar. I have something I want. Now I do want to say that Chazal say that Misha Mesim Atzmai Kimidbar Zaychid Torah. That you have to be available to people. That has to be people are invited with. I can't connect it exact. Come to the desert and get it. Is there some energy? It says me midbar matana gemara nedarim. Misha mafkir atzmai kemidbar zeicha to a matan of Torah. And the midbar is a place everybody's invited. Nobody has a right more than another one. Could it be given there as a sense that it's put in the place where everybody has entitlement to it? I want to give it, Hashem says, in that place that's Hefker Lakoil. It's the midbar is the place. Every other place on earth has somebody who typically owns it. The midbar is that place human beings don't claim. It's like everybody's land, anybody's land. Nobody lives b'yishuv. And the ultimate of Torah is here. I'm giving you something in this space where everybody has access. Everybody has rights. It's possible. I wanted to present this question to the Chevra. I do have thoughts on it. I have other thoughts on it. Okay. I want the guys, I'm asking the Chevra to think about it. Again, if the question doesn't bother you, don't. If the question bothers you, to allow thoughts, I think it will bring us to good places. That we got to Torah specifically in the desert.
Rabbi, I just want to. We also learned Torah there for 40 years in the desert. Exactly.
That points a lot. We have Reuven Yonah said that before you engage, there's something to absorb, like precious before it's possible. I'm not discounting that. And Ari says, what? You see people's own lives. You see the way all of us build lives is we learn Torah before we get married. Before a person gets a job, so Reuven Yonah and Akiva say this reflects something. Study, then you'll engage. The example: come to the desert, prepare, get ready, engage something. So then you could. I'm not against that energy.
Someone who can affect Chazon Ish. They think you should go to Midbar to learn Torah. Who's the Midbar? Hatkin Bar facing the yeshivas.
Right? They're learning. They're disengaged from the world. Then after there's such an energy. Yes.
What I'm saying me is I wouldn't feel as invited if it was somewhere like in like a city or something like that. I feel like a midbar type guy, you know. There's no rules.
I like what he's saying a lot. I like what Ari's saying a ton. It actually hits me more. Ari said the desert nobody has a claim to, so I feel very comfortable. You can't say any place you would invite to receive the Torah. Whose land is this? Is it his land? Whoa, that's more shaykh to me. The desert is that place nobody could say it's more shaykh to me, more shaykh to him. So to everybody.
It's more shaykh to me because it's in the desert. It's like specifically for the desert type guy.
But I think there's a sense nobody could say there. I want to say there's a big nekuda with Torah that it's munach b'keren zavish kol mishuray. Everybody's entitled to this. If Hashem gave the Torah in a specific yishuv, where do you choose to give it? Oh, it's for me. The Torah He gave it, and it's funny. It says about the midbar mishameisim atzmai kemidbar. It says midbar shakol dashim. I love everybody tramples there. It's nobody's entitlement more than the next person. That's what the midbar represents. Nobody's more than the next. The Torah is given there. There's a big sugya. It bothers me when people make it that family gets Torah. The Gemara says that Talmidei Chacham's kids are often not Talmidei Chacham. Nobody should say it's that family. It belongs to the entirety of our people.
Wow.
Belongs to the entirety of our people. I like that pshat, Ari's pshat, a lot.
I feel like it's specifically for me. Not just like it's for everyone, because I feel like specifically like a desert type guy.
I hear what you're saying. Even a guy who doesn't feel like a desert kind guy cannot have a sense that it's for somebody else. Right. Because the desert is nobody's more than the next person. So, and it says, Chazal Sebe Desert, Akol Dash, and everybody can come here. And Hashem says, come, what?
It's almost like He says it to get it also.
This is what he's saying to us. It was given to us. But what he was saying to us, and by the way, a guy can become a Yidnev Torah. But what he's saying to us is this is not the right of one more than the other. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
So can we review the approaches that were presented today? Reuven Yonah.
Yeah, Reuven Yonah said that there's a period of precious before engagement. Reuven Yonah and Akiva. There's precious before engagement. Chaim said that the contrast, there's nothing in the desert, and the contrast of that from nothingness comes something. That's what I heard in Chaim. This pshat of Ari is the desert, nobody's more entitled. If it would be given in anybody's rishus, and by the way, the different lands, is it this Shevet's land, that Shevet's, the desert? Nobody has entitlement. It's all of ours. The sense, to me, that that touches something. Come, and we receive it where it's like, this is, nobody could say it was more given to him. That does touch place in me. I like that teretz a lot. That's what I wants to say. If the guys think about the question, we will pick it up tomorrow. The pool is open, I believe, right now. You guys should enjoy the pool. I will meet you at like Do we have 10? What? No. Should we open it right now? Let's open it out. Do guys here want to swim? Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. What?
It's good?
So, do you know anybody going to Walmart?
I don't know anyone that will.
Yo, Rob, 6 cheer.
Yair, thank you. Sidi, thank you. We do have a minute for Mincha. I have to.
There is
Is there a minute for Mincha?
I did not doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Although,
Perfect. Remember Yalav and Yavai? Ashish V'sech Rebezit, you leave Mincha short, Shmas Yalav Yavai. Go swimming then.
No, he meant like make sure Rabbi saying let's stop. He didn't mean number.
I can't be here. Who's davening from it? I just can't. What? Too weird. Guys drove. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky. Asher, not on Shabbos, Yom Tov, Taniyas, Chanukah, and Purim. Asher,
Adonai,